Hello everyone and welcome here to qualifying for round 10. This is a little odd for everyone because we usually do not broadcast qualifying since we have the Hardy's National Series on the channel. It's been taking up the time to upload the races, so we've been focusing more on just uploading the races to the channel and the qualifying be done off the camera. And we've not been broadcasting the qualifying sessions, but we will be doing it for this race weekend just because we have the time to do so. Stephen Pollard III is the first one to roll out. We're doing things like we usually did last year and how we have been doing all year, but just haven't been broadcasting it live onto the channel. The guys outside the top 35 and older points will battle it out in a qualifying session of their own. This is called the Go Home session, and if you watched qualifying last year, it's pretty simple. You got to qualify inside the top 7 if you want to make the race, and if there's a past champion outside the top 7, then top 6 get into the race, and the 7th guy gets the past champion provisional. Ryan Acosta, in number 45, is one of these guys in the Go Home qualifying session. We're very surprised that Acosta is even in this group qualifying because Acosta won 2 races last year. He won a race in 2015, and they had very high expectations that Acosta would do very well this year. He's just had a lot of bad luck, and he's in the Go Home session just trying to qualify in. He's not locked in, so Acosta will need to qualify in on time, but he's done it every time he's been in this session. He's been in this session about 3 times this year, and that team has struggled to get on their feet for 2017. Trent Togger, he's been known to be a nail-biter in these Go Home sessions. We have not broadcasted the qualifying sessions this year, but Trent Togger has been right there in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th in the qualifying times here in the Go Home session, and you got to be top 7 if you want to make the race. Togger with a good lap in. He's right now the quickest on the board, but that could change. Stephen Pollard III back there in the 89. He's laid a time down there, 30.08. He's 3rd fastest. Pollard has struggled to make some races this year. He has qualified for a handful of them. Dodd has, he failed to qualify for Las Vegas, I do believe, and I think that was the only race he's failed to qualify. And Dodd, at one moment, was in the top 35 and older points. He's fell outside of it. He's trying to get back into it. But first, he's going to have to lay a fast lap down to get into the race. Malik Nevins has failed to qualify for a few races. Fisher Motorsports has just continued to struggle to actually get a handle on these new cars. And Pollard comes into the pits. He thinks that 4th place is going to be good enough. Maybe it will be. Nick Piercles coming to the line. He's failed to qualify for a few races, and he might not make this one. He's 9th quick, but we're going to look for the girl in the field, Becca Haddix. She has failed to qualify for every race after the Daytona 500. She is 9th fastest, getting bumped down. The ARC racing cars, there they are on the racetrack. They're so close. They need to get about a 10th and a half more on Stephen Pollard III right now. Right now it is Ryan Acosta, Trent Togger, Malik Nevins, Matt DeLeo, Hayden Klein, Scott Roush, and Stephen Pollard III holding the final spot, and Piercles jumped up at the line. The 06 didn't jump up. The 66 didn't jump up either. We're going to have to see Grandma Jones. Ever since she's been in the car, she hasn't made any races, just like Aiden Shepard. And everyone, Michael White, they just have not been able to get this car in the field. White actually did get in the field. My apologies. He got in the Daytona 500. Nevins is in right now. Dodd is in, but he's not very comfortable. Someone jumped up. I didn't quite tell who that was. I actually think that might have been Dodd that got it into the field. Because now Pollard is outside the cut line, and he's only outside by just a little bit. Scott Roush is in the race by about a little bit over a 10th. And Piercles, he jumps up. Piercles jumps up into the transfer position, and he's going to qualify in right now. He's 7th quick. Hayden Klein's good. Becca Haddix is not. Costa's good. This is the last time anyone can make a timed lap Grandma Jones 13th on the board. She is dead last. She's going to need a miracle. She wants to make the field. She jumps up, but it's not going to be good enough. Nevins was already good. Dodd was already good. Pericles, he was already good. 7th, but he needed some insurance policy. Becca Haddock's way up the hill. She's not going to make the race. Again's going to fail to qualify. But Acosta way good. But Gordon not going to make it. Bishop, he's not going to make it either. So that is it for qualifying for the Gorga Homers, and that's the last time you can make a timed lap. So everyone's just finishing up their laps, and I don't know why, because it doesn't count anymore. But Acosta is the quickest one. Every time Acosta has been in this Gorga Home session, he's been the quickest one. So it'll be Ryan Acosta, Hayden Klein, and others that make the field. Yeah, Hayden Klein, Ryan Acosta, they are the quickest ones. Malik Nevins makes it in the race. Trent Togger gets it in the field. Chris Dodd's in the field. Matt DeLeo, again, is going to be in the field. That team has struggled to make races. However, with DeLeo did really well with Titanium Motorsports last year. And DeLeo, for Cloud9, has actually proven that he can get that car in the field. And Cloud9 has kept him around and put that car sort of full-time since Matt DeLeo's been making the races. He is 6th. And actually got a top 30 finish for them out at Charlotte. Nick Pericles had to bump Scott Roush out of the field, but Pericles will make the round of New Hampshire. And now we move over to main qualifying as Scott Roush, Stephen Pollard III, Mason Gordon, Bradley Bishop Jr., Grandma Jones, and Becca Haddock will fail to qualify. Now we move over to main qualifying as everyone that was in the Gorga Home session that qualified in will transfer over and will race for a starting position. And the top 35 and owner points, all these locked-in drivers will battle for the pole position in a very highly contested qualifying session, because qualifying means a whole lot when you come to New Hampshire, and you need to perform in this qualifying session because starting up front means a whole lot, and you just got to be on your game. You only have 5 minutes on the clock. You're already down to 1 minute. And you got to get out there and make a good lap. You only have probably a good 3 to 4 laps on your tires that you can lay down a pretty good lap. And as everyone rolls off, we'll see here. The first car out was, I couldn't quite tell who that was. William Brock. He's done very well this season. Number 76 Dodge. Jeffrey Lynn drove that car and actually won a race last year. Lynn's done very well in the 25 car. Brock is in the top 10 in points right now. He jumped up 3 spots after Charlotte and is right now 8th in the standings and is having a career season so far. It's been really solid. We haven't talked about him much, but he's having a good season. Right now the quickest one, but we expect that to change. Rookie Ryan Griffin had a great outing at Charlotte, was competing with some of the best names of the series, and Griffin really proved that he was here to stay, and he's going to be a contender for some wins. And Eric Burton behind him. Burton has not ran very well this season. However, he has been very consistent. Burton is 16th in the standings. He's just looking to find victory lane. It's been since 2015. He's been on a little bit of a dry spell, I would say. But this man down on the inside, following Nick Pericles out. But him and Pericles, look like Pericles is kind of, whoa, Kyle Collins is up in the wall. Oh, well, that all started when Nick Pericles and Luke Martin were not having a disagreement there coming on the racetrack, and that looks like a backup car for the 41 team, and it looks as though the 41 of Kyle Collins will have to start shotgun on the field. Well, Luke Martin and Nick Pericles, I mean, Martin did fire Pericles 12 races into the 2015, so they were having a disagreement there. And Pericles, he had to come in pit road as well because, well, Kyle Collins drilled him in the door. And he's going to have to fix some damage and on the right side of the car, and he might have to start near the rear of the field. Pericles is just happy to be in the field. So some controversy in this qualifying area right now. Well, with all that, we have 2 minutes left on the clock. Jeffrey Lynn is the fastest, not anymore. Jacob Hart, the 2-time champion, moves up on to the top. However, William Brock, a good run for him. He jumps up to the top of the board. Nick Mace just in front of him is on the outside of the front row. Take that back to Aaron Taylor as he's on the back bumper of his own car, or his team owner, my bad. Alan Cavanaro in the 20 car is not shown at... I expected him to do a little bit more this season. He's 12th in the standings, been consistent, but I expect Cavanaro to kind of pull through and get a win this season for FBR. We're looking for Jeffrey Lynn here. He was the quickest one. He still is. Can't quite find him out there. But here's a man that was in the storylines over in Charlotte. He dropped to 11th right there. He's still 11th fastest. Sean Perkins, a lot of people were talking at the end of the race because there was a protest with Perkins trying to debate that he won the race. And there was possibly a scoring issue, which we couldn't quite figure it out. And we had to go back to any videotape that we had, and we just couldn't find anything that could have seen any proof that Perkins was on the racetrack or that he did actually lose a lap, and he lost the protest. However, he is somewhat fast. He's 16th on the board, but continues to drop, and time is coming away. He's going to have to start probably midfield. Nick Mace in the 48 car is second on the board, doing very well. However, Jeffrey Lynn, his own car, is somewhere out there. I'm not sure where he is, but Jeffrey Lynn is the only driver to crack a 28-second lap time, and I think he actually is brought it in the garage. No, there he is. Yeah, he's the only one that's really quick out there. You got Jake Bassinger, Aaron Taylor, and the time is ticking down, and we're going to see here. Now, everyone that's coming to the line, they're going to be completing their lap. Kyle Collins did get back out there with a backup car, and because he is making laps with it, he will not have to go to the rear of the field. So, well, qualifying is done. We're going to see where everyone qualifies. As we look here, Jeffrey Lynn will have the pole. Jesse Turner has never won a pole in his career. He came sort of close here. He's about a 10th off of Jeffrey Lynn. Jesse Turner second, Nick Mace third, Jake Bassinger in fourth. So you have the Turner Fenway cars and Mace Enterprises all up here. Aaron Taylor fifth, Eugene Mack sixth, Cody Lama seventh, Jacob Hart 8th, 9th for Luke Martin, last week's winner. William Brock, a solid run, 10th. Jordan Deos in 11th. Jeff James, the point leader, in the 12th position. Ryan Griffin, his teammate, along with Dom Capps as well. They take 12th, 13th, and 14th. DJ Curtis in 15th. Ryan Acosta had to qualify his way in 16th. Charlie Smith 17th. 18th for Stephen Jenkins, along with his teammate back there with Zachary Fitzwater. Dejon Weeks in 20th. Eric Burton in 21st. Jeffrey Finguy right there in 22nd. Andreas Allen 23rd. Matthew Rodriguez in 24th. Sean Perkins fell all the way back to 25th. James Silverfox not with the best qualifying effort. He's in 26th. Chris Dodd in 27th. Levi Pasco second in the point standings. He is in 28th. Jordan Fisher 29th. Dylan Young, not a good qualifying effort for him, 30th. Sky Collins is going to have to come from the rear, 31st. Alan Cavanaro, not a good run for him or Carson Scott, 32nd, 33rd. Hayden Klein, 34th. Trent Togger, 35th. Charles Sanford and Sean Harple, the Fuel Brothers cars, really missed the handling and have not had really good seasons. They're back here in the 30s. Kyle Collins, that backup car is really not as quick as he thought it was going to be and is off the charts here. 38th starting position. James Shelley in 39th. Nick Piercles is sort of happy to be in the field, but they have fixed the damage there in 40th. Matt DeLeo, he's happy to be in the race. He's just really good at qualifying in the race. He showed that with Titanium last year, and Cloud9 picked him up for that exact same reason, and with a team that is very underfunded. Well, I wouldn't say underfunded, but it's just a slow team, and hasn't been that quick. But DeLeo finds a way to get speed to get in the race. He'll start 41st and outruns Fisher Motorsports' 22 car of Nevins, who will start dead last. But that is it for qualifying this Sunday. Jeffrey Lynn will lead us down for 150 laps at New Hampshire. It'll be an exciting one for round 10. We'll see you then.